Wow, talk about a nail-biter. The Bills pull off a victory over the Ravens, 27-25, and they are headed to the AFC Championship game.
It was a close one for sure.
Yeah, it really was.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a bigger story here, don't you think?
Absolutely. This Bills team, they were considered underdogs by so many, and they completely flipped the script. Everyone thought they were going to crumble.
Right.
Especially after that Week 4 debacle.
Oh, man, the Ravens just ran all over them. 271 rushing yards. I mean, come on.
Yeah, that was brutal. But this time around, the Bills' defense, they held them to just 110? That's a huge turnaround. And hey, before we get too far into this, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying this breakdown.
Absolutely. We love having you all here for these deep dives. All right, so back to the Game 3, forced turnovers. A crucial fumble recovery by Terrell Bernard really highlighted their defensive growth this season. What do you think?
It really showed their ability to adapt. You know, they didn't just bend, they adjusted and completely shut down the Ravens' offensive rhythm.
Yeah, and it wasn't all defense either. Josh Allen might have had a quiet passing game with only 213 yards, but he made those rushing touchdowns count when it mattered most.
For sure, those are some clutch plays.
I mean, those MVP chants from the crowd were deafening.
Well-deserved, even if Allen himself will probably be the first to deflect the praise. But honestly, 11 turnover-free games this season, that's got to say something about his decision-making.
For sure, especially compared to Lamar Jackson's performance.
Yeah, that's where I think the game really turned. Jackson's obviously super talented, but those 2 turnovers, including that interception in the end zone, oof, that's tough. His playoff record is now 3-5.
I mean, that's got to fuel the debate about his postseason performance.
For sure.
It's a shame, though, because that dropped 2-point conversion by Andrews is probably going to overshadow his whole game.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it is telling that his teammates, you know, especially Andrews himself, have been so vocal in their support. They're really emphasizing the collective responsibility.
It's a team sport at the end of the day.
Exactly. And you know what really impressed me about the Bills? Their commitment to complementary football. Think about it. They were the first NFL team this season to score over 30 touchdowns, both passing and rushing.
It's not about one player. It's about the whole team effort.
Precisely. It's a cohesive strategy.
You know, this win wasn't just about beating the Ravens. It was about proving that they can win in multiple ways.
I agree.
They're showing their evolution as a team.
Yeah, for sure.
But now all eyes are on the AFC Championship game and a rematch against the Chiefs.
A rematch with a lot of baggage.
Oh, yeah.
Remember the Bills beat them in Week 11?
Yeah.
That was the Chiefs' first loss of the season.
It was. But we can't forget the last time these two teams met in the AFC Championship.
Oh, man, that dramatic finish.
The Chiefs pulling out the win in overtime.
It was unbelievable.
This is a history ripe for a rewrite, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely.
The Bills have a chance to get rid of some of those playoff demons, and this time they're facing a Chiefs team that might not be as invincible.
Yeah, that's true.
So the million-dollar question, can the Bills replicate that regular season success against the Chiefs?
Especially in the cauldron of Arrowhead Stadium.
That's what makes this so interesting. They had a very clear game plan in Week 11. They exploited some weaknesses in the Chiefs' defense.
Yeah, but Andy Reid's known for making adjustments.
That's true.
And we can't forget about Patrick Mahomes. He's the X factor. Guy can turn a broken play into a touchdown.
He's a magician back there.
The Bills' defense, even with all the improvements they've made,
Yeah.
they're going to have their hands full.
It's going to be fascinating to see how Sean McDermott schemes against Mahomes. I mean, we saw some really creative blitz packages against the Ravens. Can they bring that same pressure?
Well, that's where the chess match really gets intense. Can the Bills' defense force Mahomes into uncomfortable decisions, or is he just going to orchestrate another masterpiece?
It's a real nail-biter. But we can't just focus on defense here. Josh Allen needs to be at his best.
Yeah.
Making smart decisions and using all his weapons.
Stephon Diggs, Dawson Knox, the whole crew.
Yeah, and let's not forget about special teams. Field position turnovers, hidden yards, all of that can be crucial in a game like this. Can the Bills leverage their special teams to get an edge?
All about those little margins, those seemingly small plays that shift the momentum. But before we get too deep into the matchups, let's take a step back. What about the psychological aspect?
Oh, that's huge. The mental game is so often overlooked, but in a game like this, it can be the deciding factor. We've seen the Bills crumble under pressure before.
It's true.
Can they hold it together this time on the biggest stage?
They've shown resilience this season. They've overcome adversity, silenced the doubters, but this is a whole other beast.
It is. Can they truly believe they belong?
Yeah.
That they can take down the reigning champs?
That's a question only they can answer. But one thing's for sure, this AFC Championship game has all the makings of a classic.
Oh, yeah. High-powered offenses, star quarterbacks,
Yeah.
and a history that's ready to be rewritten. It's going to be epic. And as we head into part 2 of our analysis, we'll be dissecting those key battles, the strategic adjustments, and the potential game changers that could determine the outcome of this thing.
Can't wait. All right, so let's get down into the trenches, where championships are won and lost.
For sure.
The Bills' offensive line, they've been, a fortress this season.
Yeah, they've given Josh Allen so much time to work.
To just pick apart defenses.
It's been amazing to watch.
Especially how they pick up those stunts and blitzes.
Right, Allen can extend plays like crazy.
Creates those highlight reel moments we all love.
But facing Chris Jones and that Chiefs defensive front,
that's a different beast altogether.
Talk about a challenge.
Chris Jones, he's a one-man wrecking crew.
He really is.
His ability to collapse the pocket from the interior,
Yeah.
it forces offenses to constantly account for him.
You can't just ignore him.
Disrupts their whole game plan.
The Bills' interior line, they've got a tough job ahead of them.
They do.
Double teams, chip blocks. I mean, they're going to have to throw everything they've got at him just to keep Allen upright.
Yeah, it's a classic strength-on-strength matchup.
It could really dictate the flow of the entire game.
It could.
And then on the other side, you've got the Chiefs' offensive line.
Which has been a bit of a revolving door this season.
A little bit, yeah.
They've had moments of brilliance,
Sure.
but also some vulnerability.
Yeah, especially against a Bills defense with a pass rush like that.
Greg Rousseau has really emerged as a threat.
Coming off that edge.
And Von Miller even as a veteran.
He can still cause some damage.
He can.
I think the key for the Bills is going to be generating pressure right up the middle.
Absolutely. If Ed Oliver can disrupt that Chiefs interior line,
yeah,
Mahomes is going to be forced to move out of his comfort zone.
We all know he can make those plays on the run, but
it's not ideal.
Disrupts his timing, his accuracy.
You got to make him think twice before every snap.
Create that chaos.
Exactly. But, Mahomes thrives in those unpredictable moments.
That's what makes this quarterback matchup so fascinating.
Josh Allen versus Patrick Mahomes
is a clash of styles.
Two quarterbacks who really embody the modern NFL.
Allen with that rocket arm.
Yeah.
In his running ability.
And then Mahomes the magician contorting his body, delivering throws from anywhere.
It's going to be a battle of the improvisational geniuses.
Right. Quarterbacks who can extend plays, make something out of nothing.
But I think the real chess match is going to be between the quarterbacks and the opposing defensive coordinators.
Oh, for sure. Sean McDermott, the Bills head coach, he's a defensive mastermind.
He disguises coverages, brings pressure from unexpected angles.
Keeps those offenses guessing.
And against Mahomes, you can't just sit back and react. You got to dictate the tempo.
Absolutely.
I'm expecting some exotic blitz packages, maybe even some zone blitzes, just to keep Mahomes off balance.
Makes sense. And then you have Steve Spagnuolo, the Chiefs defensive coordinator.
He's been in plenty of big games.
He's not going to be intimidated.
No way. He's probably going to try to limit Allen's running ability, make him beat them from the pocket.
It's that classic risk-reward scenario.
Yeah. Do you sell out to stop the run and risk getting burned deep?
Or play it safe and let him pick up those yards on the ground?
Tough choices.
Tough choices. But I think for both defenses, it really comes down to creating turnovers.
Yeah, those momentum-shifting plays can make all the difference in the playoffs.
Absolutely.
Which brings us to special teams.
Oh, yeah.
A muffed punt, a blocked field goal, a big return. Any of those little moments can completely change the game.
They can.
And I think the Bills have a clear advantage here.
They do. Tyler Bass is one of the most reliable kickers.
And Isaiah McKenzie, he's a threat every time he touches the ball and returns.
Can't forget about him.
But the Chiefs, they've struggled with consistency on special teams.
That's true. This could be an area where the Bills steal some hidden yards.
Get a better field position.
Exactly.
But at the end of the day, it all comes down to execution.
Who's going to make the fewest mistakes?
Who's going to capitalize on their opportunities?
And maybe most importantly, who can handle the pressure of the AFC Championship game?
That mental toughness.
Yeah.
The ability to stay composed when everything's on the line.
That's what separates the champions from the contenders.
We've seen both teams show resilience throughout the season, battling back from deficits, overcoming adversity.
But this is a whole other level.
It is the weight of expectations, the crowd, the knowledge that a Super Bowl berth is at stake.
It can be overwhelming.
The Bills especially. They have a history of playoff heartbreak.
It's true.
Can they finally conquer those demons? Can they prove they're ready for the next step?
Or will the Chiefs, led by Mahomes, assert their dominance and punch their ticket to another Super Bowl?
It's a question we can't answer yet.
No, it can't.
But as we head into part 3 of our analysis,
yes,
we're going to explore those intangible factors, the psychological battles, and the historical context that make this AFC Championship game so compelling.
It's going to be good.
You know, we've broken down the matchups, we've looked at the strategies, but there's something else at play here.
Oh, yeah.
It's the weight of history, those expectations, that intangible force that can either lift a team up or completely crush them.
It's a heavy burden.
And for the Bills, it's about facing a past full of playoff disappointments.
Yeah, they've been so close to greatness only to fall short.
Right, it's agonizing.
So can they rewrite that narrative?
That's the question, isn't it? They've shown this resilience this season, this grit that we haven't seen from them before, but facing the Chiefs at Arrowhead with a Super Bowl berth on the line.
It's a whole other level of intensity.
They've got to conquer those internal demons, silence those doubts that creep in when the pressure's on.
Can they really believe they belong on this stage? Can they dethrone the champs?
It starts with Josh Allen. We've seen him grow as a leader, a quarterback who can carry the team, but can he keep that composure, that focus when the lights are brightest?
He's got to be more than just a gunslinger.
Right.
He needs to be a surgeon, picking apart the Chiefs' defense, making the right decisions, and avoiding those costly turnovers.
Those have hurt them in the past.
They have. And it's not just on Allen either.
Right.
The whole team needs to step up, embrace that next man up mentality. We saw it against the Ravens, right?
It was a collective effort. Everyone contributed.
Exactly. And that Bills defense,
Yeah.
they're going to need to be at their absolute best.
Oh, for sure. Containing Patrick Mahomes.
It's a task very few teams have managed to do.
Right.
They need to disrupt his rhythm, force him into bad throws, capitalize on every single mistake.
It's a huge challenge, but it seems like they're up for it.
We saw that intensity, that fire against the Ravens.
But can they keep that up against the most explosive offense in the league?
That's a good question.
The Chiefs, on the other hand, they thrive on pressure.
They do. They've been here before. They know how to win.
And with Mahomes,
They always have a chance.
he's the ultimate weapon.
He can defy logic.
Create magic out of nothing.
The Bills can scheme, they can prepare, but he's just so unpredictable.
So dangerous. It's a clash of styles, a clash of mentalities.
Yeah, you've got the Bills hungry to prove themselves, to rewrite their history.
And the Chiefs, those confident champions ready to defend their crown.
Exactly. This game, it goes beyond the usual rivalry stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It's about two teams at a crossroads.
Each one trying to define their legacy. For the Bills, it's a chance to finally break through.
To shake off that label of contenders and become champions.
And for the Chiefs,
It's about cementing their dynasty, proving they're the team of this era, a force to be reckoned with.
it's a matchup that has everyone talking, a clash of titans.
It's going to be one for the ages.
And as we wait for kickoff, there's one question on everyone's mind. Who will seize their destiny? Who will make NFL history?
Only time will tell, but
Right.
one thing's for sure.
What's that?
This AFC Championship game is going to be a spectacle.
It's a testament to the power, the passion, the unpredictable beauty of football at its very best.